here. SVC's at the top, okay? And so you're looking straight on the device, and the microvalve over here, is the IDC down the bottom on the side. So when I do my NPR, this machine is set up so that it's not on the front page, but on mine, my NPR is on my front page. You can ask your Philips people to do that for you, so I prefer on my front page because I go to it all the time. Click multi-view. So multi-view will show you these two images are how I acquired my picture. So I went to the by cable view. Actually, I'll go back one. I just come out of there, I'll show you something. So if I just go to these four chambers. So if you just go like these multi-display, 4:1, you know straight away what angle you started your picture from. See that one here says 90? This is where I did my picture. And when I took my equivalent view, I got my aorta in the view. So always get aortic valve. That's your landmark. If you don't have aorta, I don't know where I am. Lost. And the only reason I do my pictures from this view, not because I can't do it from any other, but when I go into my 3D, it's very quick. Okay? So now just pretend now I'm going to multi-view. So 3D would be that one, and my picture, I'll just show you what it would look like. It would look like, there we go. Okay, so this is how it comes. Okay, when you go into 3D, this is what you get when you start. So 90-degree view, and then the aortic valve. Make sure the aortic, this is how it looks like. Okay. Because I took the SVC here, my orientation's going to be easy. Straight up and down, SVC straight up and down. Now, which side do you want? Left atrium or right atrium? You can pick. Exactly. Left atrial view, perfect. Okay. You want your right? Perfect. So it's easy. Doesn't take any time to do it. So if you do the same way every time, it's just so much faster when you're trying to get your pictures together and orientate what you're trying to look at. Obviously, the lines are not there, so this is what it would look like without it. Now, the problem, as I talked about earlier, is that fossa, see how thin and membranous and frilly it is? Especially that other case we had, this is so much dropout. Everyone thought that maybe that whole thing was the ASD, so you've got to be very careful. I do quite a lot of color, on and off color, just to make sure that I'm not over measuring or under measuring, whatever it might be, because I might think that there's flow through here when there's not. Okay? So multi-view, so let's go back to multi-view. So we go to the 4:1. Now, my interventionists like this orientation, and she likes the aorta valve over here because that's what they're used to looking at. So I can make that picture. Okay, so I can make this aorta go there. This is the red box by turning my red line. I'll show you. Okay, turn my red line. My aorta's over here. Okay, they like that, so I do that. Whatever they want, I do it. Okay? Then they want to orientate this together. These are the same. This here is your reference. You go to your blue, okay? But it's sideways. I don't want it sideways. I want it upright. Okay? Now, remember the aorta is a little bit off. It's not truly 90 degrees to each other. Like this is probably about 110, and that's about 60 or 50. So that's why the lines are not straight. Okay? But they're happy now. I'm talking the same thing as them, and they know. And the reason they like these that way is because they're used to working in X-plane, and so they want that to be what they usually do. Okay. So if I was sizing this one, as I said, just a bit like the example I gave in my talk, I would do the color, take the color on and off and measure it. And if I'm having a lot of trouble seeing that rim properly, two things I can do. I can do it on color, which you know there's a bit of blurring artifact with that. Or the other thing you can do is actually increase your slice a tiny bit. The slides here, watch that picture, just a tiny bit. Sometimes it just clears up those lines a bit better on your 2D. You can do your measurements a little bit better. Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the other things we talked about in the talk, like when I try to manipulate my lines, if I want to manipulate both of them, you lock it. Locking it, when I click on it, see how it goes pink? Pink means you can move everywhere, and I move it, press it again, pink, then I can adjust it and line everything up. you want to make it easier for yourself, you can freeze the picture, cine through it till I see a bit better picture, and then manipulate it, okay, and move where you want it to go. Okay. Now, I don't like it crooked. I want it straight, but that's just me. I don't like working crooked, but if you don't have time, that's good enough. You can straighten everybody up. Red, straighten him up. Green, straighten him up. Blue, it's perfect. Okay, now everyone's on the same page, we're all doing the same thing. Okay? So when I do my setups, I often will do all this. We do all our assessments on 2D first, like that talk you had earlier. We do that, we always do that. And then I go and do my NPR and I do my sizing again. Sometimes I don't do the complete sizing, it's just the ASD size, I'm just measuring. I'm not doing all the rims because we've kind of done it already. And so, we do it for this, but definitely if we do a balloon, we'll blow up the balloon. I'll acquire my 3D very quickly. I don't do this, I don't have time. They want the balloon down straight away. So I do my X-plane, I measure my X-plane balloon. Then once they're happy, they've deflated the balloon, I go back and I do the NPR on the balloon later. Don't do it while they're doing it. They get irritated because it's too slow. So the other thing I was talking about is clip crop. See this line? Do you know what that line means? That's the line above your 3D. The distance above your 3D that picture is. So you can adjust it. Okay, you can bring it right on your 3D. Okay? Technically, if I had my color there and I put it right on there, on that line, that blue line, this blue line, see it's gone? This and this are exactly the same level. Measure on here should be exactly the same as measuring on there. Now you can measure on 3D if you want to. You're not supposed to measure on 3D without doing that because you don't know your distance above your 3D plane. Okay? So the other thing it can do too is if you quickly want to look at the other side because they can't get into the ASD, they're somewhere, they don't know where the wire is and I'm mucking around, you can flip crop it. That flips this picture and I can see their wire and say, oh, just come down a bit more, you're almost near it, and I can tell them what to do. Yeah. So I don't use that very often, but that's what this is for. The thing to remember though, watch the aorta and the aorta. This one didn't change, okay? This is still looking at it from the LA view. This one's looking at it from the RA view, okay? So just keep that in mind if you're going to be flip cropping. Get very confusing. But I think for me, the most important thing is set it all up, make sure your alignments are right, have it arranged right, and then do your measurement and sizing. So, but if you want to have a play, I'm happy to help you and do stuff. Go back to the beginning. And do it from the get out of my view. Who wants to have a go? You want to go?